Hi, welcome back to English Lessons. Today I have a question. Have you ever felt recharged, revitalized, rejuvenated by being in nature? Do you think that the birds and animals and the around us can give us a life lesson? Here's a poem that suggests that nature is a soothing place, a comforting place, and it can give us solutions for most of our problems. And the poem is The Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Okay? The poet says he had felt so unhappy and disappointed. He was in a bad mood. And the word used in the poem is the day he had spent some part of the day being in a rude state. Rude means to feel a regret, okay? To be sorry for something or to be so unhappy, disappointed for some reason. The poet was then sitting under a hemlock tree, okay? And there was a crow on the hemlock tree, and the crow shook some dust of snow and it fell upon the poet who's sitting underneath the tree. And that act of the crow of shaking off the dust of snow which fell on its body and finally which fell on the poet gave him a wise thought. Okay? He realized that one must not spend the entire day, his lifetime, in disappointment. A change is needed, and nature can bring us such a change. Okay? The dust of snow stands for some positivity, some refreshment, and he felt joy. So the dust of snow represents joy, being with nature or being in harmony with nature can give some positivity. Okay, he changed, his mood changed, and some part of his day was saved. He was saved, we should say, he was saved. Okay, the irony presented in the poem is that hemlock tree is actually a poisonous tree. Okay, a tree which produces some beautiful white flowers, but it's poisonous and it's a negative element shown in the poem. Another one, the crow, is again a symbol, an omen of negativity or evil. The poet uses these negative images and brings out a different meaning, the opposite meaning. These two could give positivity to the poet who was feeling so unhappy. Okay, mood changes are quite usual in these days for the youngsters especially. The poet wants to ignite the minds of the youngsters, and he says that you should not spend your day and your time so disappointed. In order to get some positivity, be with nature. Okay? Change the mood. Change your state of mind. Okay? That's it. So this is the idea of the poem, Dust of Snow. The poet hasn't used any beautiful plant, a tree. He could have used the Christmas tree or the pine tree or the teak wood or some beautiful tree, but he has used the hemlock plant or the hemlock tree, which is poisonous in nature. And also, he hasn't used any beautiful bird like peacock or a dove, but he used just the crow. Okay, and he brings out from these negative images, he brings out a positive energy. Okay, a dust of snow is a little particle of ice. A little thing can bring out significant change. The mental stage of a man who was moody could be changed by these little particles of snow. So, the significance of little things in your life is remarkable. So, that is quite unusual, and a poet wants to tell us that even a little thing is important. A little thing can bring out significant change in your life. The importance of little things is mentioned here in the poem.